Hey there everybody, welcome to another episode of Bert's Bike. Today we're going to do the 1,000 mile review on my Z900RS. Alright, let's jump into it. So let's talk about the Z900RS. Well, if you're watching my channel, you've probably already seen the 600 mile review and the initial first ride review of this bike. And over 1,000 miles now, I think I'm about closing on 1,400 miles, and I just rode the bike down to Chattanooga, Tennessee. We went to the Ocoee River, rode around the Hickson area, rode around Highway 58 area, and just beautiful, beautiful riding in this part, and I'll definitely show some footage of that in this video. So Kawasaki just knocked it out of the park with the Z900RS, but the one thing that I haven't really done on this bike, I've done some long rides, but I hadn't done any real distance riding. And I really wanted to get this bike on some mountainous roads and also some highway riding, some sustained speeds up to 85 miles per hour and above, and just kind of report on how the bike is handling, if there are any issues with the bike or anything like that. And I could tell you from riding this bike and putting it through the paces, with all different types of riding, this bike performs amazingly. The bike just did not skip a beat at all. The gearbox is really just bedded in nicely. And, you know, you still have that kind of like clunk from, you know, first to second, but really that's about it, you know. Just rides really, really nice and really predictable. And also, I noticed on this particular ride that the bike really likes when you apply pressure to the gear lever before you shift. I call it sport shifting. I don't know if that's the technical term, but that's what I call it. Now, after putting close to 1,400 miles as of this point today on the bike, I can tell you that you do have to be careful with this bike because the throttle is on the jumpier side. It's instantaneous almost. And you really have to, you know, make sure your inputs are intentional and smooth. You know, if you are not smooth with the bike is not smooth with you. So that's a little bit of just, you know, experience as a rider, but also it's really that on-off throttle problem. So I would say the only real flaw this bike has is that on-off throttle feel. And I know a lot of people can fix that with a flash. I think Ivan's flash is a good one. I think people are doing that a lot, sending their ECUs out. Basically what they report is the bike is definitely smoother on the acceleration. The bike wants to be shifted fast, so it doesn't like lazy shifting, because when those RPMs drop, you're going to get kind of a lurch or a lunge of the bike, because the engine braking on the bike is definitely on the stronger side. Now, riding home and riding some more mountainous terrain, I really grew to appreciate that heavy engine braking, because you don't really have to ride your brakes a whole lot going down mountainous hills or terrain. So that was kind of a big plus for me. Plus, I like a healthy dose of engine braking, and also that decel sound is pretty nice. So I'm really just enjoying the way the overall bike functions. So in this 1,000 mile review, I really wanted to take the bike on a long trip, you know, over 200 miles. And I think round trip, this trip and all the riding we did is going to be about 600 miles. So it's going to be a pretty good indication of what the bike can handle. And also on this particular trip, it was over 90 plus degrees, so 95, and even on the dash, on the bike dash, it said that the ambient temperature at one time was 105 degrees, which is really hot. And the bike just didn't skip a beat. In fact, my coolant never got dangerously high or to a concerned level. It literally just stopped at the midpoint and never went above that midpoint. So I guess what I'm trying to say is the bike's cooling design is working really well for it. So I know later on they upgraded the radiator on this bike and made it a little bigger from the previous years. So not exactly sure what year that is, but it has happened. With that said though, in this really, really hot weather, you do feel the heat coming off the engine kind of in your lower shin to your ankle area. So unless you're wearing, you know, really tall boots, you're gonna feel some hot air. Nothing too crazy, but just something to note. So what I really love about this bike is how it handles back roads. Because the gears are so versatile that you can ride them low or high, it really just lends itself to being thrown around. You could be cruising around at 50 miles an hour in 6th gear, or you could be shifting down, living in the mid-range a little bit, and that is also really great. Now, the other thing that I really love about this bike is the high speed. And get those RPMs up there, and the bike is just, you know, the bike just goes. Now, because of this bike's rake, I guess, and the way the bike's designed, it's really flickable, and I was a little worried that at high speed, you know, anything over 75, 80, 85, 90 miles an hour, that the bike would be twitchy at high speeds, but I'm happy to report that it's not for me. It just really holds the line and holds it well. You know, it is flickable, but it isn't getting too twitchy on you to where you're worried if the front end's going to be dancing around or anything like that. So it seems to be very stable at high speed, which is great. Speaking of that, going around corners and everything, I'm a little hesitant to push the bike too far. You know, when I ride on the street anyway, I am really riding at more of 70% of my capability. And the reason why I say that is because I want to have room for adjustment. If you're at max lean and you got to make a correction on a blind turn, you just really don't want to be there because it's going to be really hard, really difficult to pick the bike up. Or if there's an obstacle in the middle of the road and you're at max lean like that and you hit that, you're pretty much going to wipe out. The other thing I want to say about that is the tires on this bike, the stock tires, I think are fine for just regular riding, but you know, for really pushing the bike in, you know, not perfect conditions like outside of a track, I don't think they're the best tires. They're not bad, but sometimes, you know, even going slow speed, like taking a sharp corner or something, I feel that back tire dancing around sometimes. A lot of guys that are on the Z900 forum say that when you change these tires out, it really changes the dynamics of the bike. So I'm pretty excited to see what that does. I think I'm leaning towards the Dunlop Mutants because of the look, and I think they're supposed to be really good tires for traction as well. So we'll see how that goes, actually. Yeah, so there's really nothing crazy to report. The bike is just doing what it's supposed to do. It seems to be just a solid machine, and it doesn't seem like the engine being too stressed or whatever. It seems like the engine is just really happy to be doing its thing. Now, I know a lot of people like to rev this bike out to close to redline and all that kind of stuff, which, you know, you can definitely do that, but I find that I like to live with this bike more in the mid-range. I'm not really an aggressive rider, and I really like to just enjoy the ride, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sometimes, but I'm never really pushing like, you know, 9 and 10 and, you know, bouncing it off the rev limiter or anything like that. So the only negative thing I should say about this motorcycle, if you opt for this Cafe version, you know, the seating dynamics or the ergonomics on this thing, it's a really fun stance to be in and really sporty stance. But when you're on these mountainous roads and you're going on a steep downhill, you really feel yourself sliding towards the tank. And the way that this bike is designed, there's no knee pads on the tank, so there's nothing really to grip on but the paint itself. So you really gotta, you know, pull your legs in close and really hang on with your legs, because this is a bike that you're definitely sitting more on the bike than in the bike. So, you know, if you got to stop all of a sudden, or if you got to hit the brakes hard, or if you're going downhill, you're going to start to feel yourself sliding forward if you don't have a good grip on the tank. So that's not the bike's fault. That's just, you know, having a Cafe style motorcycle, having that forward lean, that's just par for the course with something like this. My buddy Mark actually has the standard version, and the standard version is definitely more comfortable all around, you know, because you are just in a more neutral position. So in my initial review on this bike, I really touched on how I think most people like the look of the Cafe, but they'll probably prefer the ergonomics of the standard motorcycle. Now, a lot of people will buy the Cafe version and just swap out the bars, and it usually just fixes that lean forward. But you know, I really enjoy these Clubman-esque handlebars, and that's what my W800 actually came with. Were true Clubmans, you know, they would U out and come down slightly. These aren't as the bars don't go out as far, but I think what this does is it gives you a sporty stance, but you're not too leaned over. So the other thing I want to touch on is my lower back. On every motorcycle I've ever ridden, after about 100 miles, my lower back would just start to ache, and you know, I'd have to adjust or take a break or anything. Now, I've ridden this motorcycle quite a bit in these few days, you know, pushing, when I get home I'll probably be in the mid-5s to 600 miles, and I'm happy to say that long distance on this bike, for me personally, I don't really get that much back pain, or any at all, really. I mean, you do feel fatigued because you're just on a motorcycle for a long time, but you know, on all the cruisers I've had and all the other bikes I've owned, the back pain starts to settle in, you know, right after 60, 70, 80 miles for me personally. So your mileage may vary on that, how sensitive you are. But one thing I think I attribute it to is the way that Kawasaki has designed the suspension. And if you look on their website, the suspension is has more of a horizontal travel than a vertical one, like most motorcycles. So what happens, I think, is the bumps are absorbed, and instead of shooting the shock up to your spine, it's shooting it more forward and into the bike, if that makes any sense. So, but anyway, that's really all I have to report on this motorcycle. I'm just having a blast owning it, and I think it's probably the best all-around motorcycle that I have owned. I say this a lot, but I think I'm going to be hanging on to this bike for a while. I'd love to test ride different bikes, but I don't really want to be buying different bikes all the time. But you know how that goes. People say that kind of stuff all the time, but we'll see. Overall, you know, in 1,400 plus miles on this motorcycle, it's really exceeded my expectations and just is doing everything that I want it to do as a rider. Just really loving and enjoying this motorcycle. So with all that said, if you're looking for a Z900RS or Cafe or naked version, I don't think you can go wrong. I think it's a great motorcycle, and I think you're gonna love it. It's a great balance of style, fun, and utility. Alright guys, this is Bert's Bike. Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe, leave a comment below, and I'll catch you on the next one.